So, okay. West if I need it. Okay, so now,
Let me turn off the geo, whatchamacallit, make it easier to see.
all right. Geo image. Okay, now, like I say, it's going to be a real simple fix. So what we're going to want to do is stretch these things. And I want to stretch these two sets of lines here, the right of way and the edge of pavement, which will stretch all of that. What do we have there? Okay, just the one.
Should we isolate those in the center
Well,
line?
yeah, that's what we're going to do, except we're not going to isolate the center line at this point because I want to keep the alignment intact until we get this moved. So I'm gonna actually edit that separately because
Okay.
it goes in. It might work. I don't know whether or not it will update is the problem I have with whether or not I'm going to keep it on or not. Let me see this thing here, by the way. Let's turn this back on. You change scales. Yeah, you're back at 400 scale now. Okay. All right. So now, so what we're going to isolate are these two and this yellow line and say maybe this blue line so we know that we're past where the house goes. Actually, we can go ahead and get.
That's a septic reserve area, actually.
Oh, okay. All right, so now we've just got these few things. Now, we're going to do a stretch, and the stretch command is going to ask us to give it a, pick a point from one place to another place. But the interesting thing, and this, it's the stupidest thing in the world that I've ever seen, the way Autodesk does the stretch command, but that's the way it is. So we're going to stretch those two things from where they sit now to beyond where that other point is. So if we go to the little sidebar over on the right edge over there, yeah, there's a stretch command in there. And it is, you see the one that looks like a green rectangle right there, that was right below. One down, one, no, that's trim. Where did stretch go? See, that's scale. Well, maybe, I guess it's not on that one, so it must be on this one. No, that's really. What I'm looking for, the reason I'm taking the effort is I want to show you where to find the tool, but the problem is I don't see it anywhere in here. But it's a real simple tool and it's the perfect one to use for this. Why on earth is it not over here? That is 3D mirror, rotate, 3D rotate, delete, offset. Let's see. If they put it on the DGN menu. Nope. Wilson. Oh, duh, that's where it is. It's this little icon right here, extend. I bet stretch is on there. Let's see if I click and hold. There's stretch, edit length, and extend. So we want to stretch. All right, so there it is. Now, the way you do stretch, you have to select the things you're going to stretch with a crossing window. So when we do that, we're going to do this. And we make sure that our window includes all of the PCs and PTs of those little curves around the edges there, which we're covered at this point. So I click this. Now, before we do anything, before we finish our selection, if we were to finish our selection right now, our crossing window also crossed this line up here and this yellow line over here. So we have to remove those from the selection set. So we type R to remove, and we do one of those, and we do one of those. Now, everything that we want to select or to stretch is now highlighted and it's selected here. So we hit enter to finish our selection. And now it wants to know a base point. It's just like copy or move. So we're going to go from the center of the circle to, and see, the reason we're doing stretch is because it's pulling everything with it. We don't have to explode it into its parts, any of that. And so we're going to go now to the near point, and how far back you want to go is up to you.
We don't have to go that far back, just so that the lot has access.
All right, well, let's give them
You have less road to build.
yeah, let's see if we, I should give him enough there. I don't want to put the curves right in the middle of the property lines, so we'll put it right there. Now,
Okay.
we've now moved that. Now let's restore our layers. And this time, let's isolate the center line so that we get our alignment. So I picked that one, and we'll also isolate one of the circles. Okay, so now we have this alignment here, and it needs to go up to the center of that point. And if I grab this grip, see, so right there, now that should do it. So like I said, the stretch command probably would have worked, but I'm not so sure. So now I'm going to verify that we did what we meant to do. So I'm going to inverse between that endpoint and the endpoint here, and we're going to look at that distance, which is 1808.51. Then we'll double click. What happened to it being in alignment?
I don't know.
Is there more than one in there? No,
No, I did turn some layers off.
that doesn't matter. I mean, if I turn them all back on, and then do a crossing. See, it's still just the one. So I don't know why. So if we get rid of that and draw our centerline file again, All right, so now there it is, but that's going to stop back here where we were. So if we isolate. Yeah. All right, so now if we grip edit this, I wonder if that did it. If the act of doing that might have broken that. I don't think so. It shouldn't have. Nope, see, there it is. So that distance is 1808.51. That's what we saw before after we reversed from there to there. 1808.51. So good. So we've now successfully done that. The centerline file got saved and exited, or I mean, updated rather. And there now will be where that goes.
Okay,
All right. And so now one thing to keep in mind too is wherever you got your septic reserves, I don't know where they're going to plan to build their houses, but make sure you can get a driveway past their septic reserve.
right.
And probably want to make sure that it's on the downhill side of the lot. I think these lots all go from the east toward the road, generally downhill. Is that correct?
Pretty much, yeah. And I realized I made a mistake. I erased all of the topo that we did, and it would have actually been very useful in picking those septic reserve areas.
Well, we can get those back. Let me see what we do have.
Well, there's a layer there called topo that's frozen, but I think that's just a little bit of topo down there at the end.
Well, we probably are on like these surface, these three right here. Might be, but that might also just be,
Yeah, it's just down there at the end.
just those. All right, so. And let's see. Code points. Topo is probably not it. No. All right, so those are not, they're not, excuse me, the layers that those were on. I mean, the data is now gone. You can erase it here. However, we have to draw the surface if we find it. There's an EG by survey. So that's probably that. We have all of these as different merged and edited files. So before we draw those, let's view those. Now here's the West Virginia GIS. And that's just that's with no edits. Remember, we took care of this mess in here with these.
Yeah, well, that'd probably be good enough for picking out septic reserve areas. That's all I would use it for.
Well, okay, so
Where did you find that again?
these are all surface files. These are 10 files. They're in our folder. These are all,
Okay.
this is all that work that we did before. Now we've got this merged and edited. So if we look at that, and I'm betting that that has, let's change that, whoops. Ah, trying to get that. There we go. One other two. Because we did we did those edits, I want to tone this down a little bit. It's a little, well, so we just have to live with that. Let's make it a little brighter. All right, so that now has the survey that you did, and we made the edits there. So that's all, as far as I can tell, the current surface. Okay. So we have, if we go back and look at the layers that we had there before, surface layer, these V, surf, intermediate, index, and label, they are now just restricted to that one from the survey. So if we were to erase these lines that are on there, surface index label, surface contour index, contour intermediate, we'll get rid of those. Now, to keep the text from getting terribly out of whack, see if you're at 400 scale, well, we'll still be able to see it. So now, so we have that surface file. So I'm going to let you drive. Now go up to your surface menu and choose draw surface, which is about midway down, and then choose draw train. No, not. Oh, I'm sorry. That's not where we want to be up above at the contour from 10 file. There you go. Now we want to choose that EG merged edited. And we'll open that. And now we want to make sure that we have our settings done right here. So we don't need to worry about an inclusion and exclusion area. It's going to take care of itself because it's going to the edge of the surface. So let's uncheck that so it doesn't ask us to select it. Let's uncheck densify break lines. We don't need to do that, or minimize flats because we're not really triangulating. And let's look at the, oh, before we do that, choose your, see the load settings button at the bottom? Click that and let's see if we saved it. EG contours. Possibly. Let me see if we have one. Also in McCreary, nothing there. Settings. EG contours. Yeah, that's going to set all the layers. Contour interval at 2s and 10s. Labels, contour index. All right, so that should be good. We'll uncheck that. Well, uncheck that. All right, so now if you hit OK, you should see your contours all come back. And of course, that's just that one edge. Crap, I thought it was the whole thing. All right, let's see. If that's the case, then we don't have, I think these are all the exact same shape. Oh, crap, we don't have them. All right.
Well, that's okay. I can adjust them in the field.
Well, where did we have them? Do we have a backup file of it that we can borrow them from?
Well, I don't know. There's a backup. There's a,
If we open, we're in McCreary. No, it's not that one, so. I don't think that one would have had it either. Let's see, maybe. No, it's still just to there.
yeah, we'd really have to go back to the GIS and pull it back in again.
Well, that's true. We can do that if you'd like.
Well, I don't really have time to do that tonight.
Okay. So, but you know how to do that if you need it. I thought we had made a surface out of that, but apparently not. We only did it for down near the road on that first lot, because that's all we were. In fact, I remember now because we were really only interested in doing it down there at the entrance. Remember?
Right, yeah.
In fact, we should probably put those back on if we draw.
Well, I don't need them on for now.
Yeah, but before you, when you give it to the engineers, you probably just redraw that so that they've got that entrance geometry. Of course, they may want to get the rest of that, or they may get it themselves. I don't know. All right, so you can decide from that. But from now, let's we'll save the drawing. We did the stretch. Everything's there. You can, adjust where those go based on, whatever you'd like to do. You've got looks like your wells and your septic reserves are far enough apart. That's all well and good. So, and they can be changed at a future date. It's not like it's critical. So, all right.
Okay.
All righty. Well, I'll let you go back to playing with that, and we'll call tonight a freebie. And I'll go ahead and send you the video just so you get that stretch command down. But
Okay.
all right.
That sounds good. Thank you.
You bet, sir. Be good.